but Ronda Rousey. We're just gonna call this the Ronda Rousey debate because there's just so many things. I can't even put a title topic on it. So Ronda Rousey debuted at the Royal Rumble, came out and pointed awkwardly at things, pointed at signs, even had the Wendy's Twitter account clowning the whole thing, the whole segment. But that's beside the point. But there was a lot of debate afterwards about, did she steal a moment from Asuka? And my opinion right from the get-go, right when I seen her walking down the aisle, I was like, well, they gotta have Ronda Rousey come in, steal Asuka's moment, and come in and do her deal. Well, there's some people on the other side of the coin that's saying that, well, Ronda Rousey had to make a big debut. So the Royal Rumble was a big chance to make a big debut. And you know what? In this instance, it's a rare instance in wrestling where everybody's right. Ronda Rousey did have to make a big debut. The Royal Rumble was, I mean, it's only the second biggest pay-per-view WWE has. So that's about as big as it gets. However, what I don't like is that Asuka was having a moment. She was about to choose who she was going to wrestle. It was this big deal, like Nakamura had his big deal moment after the Royal Rumble. Seemed like Asuka was heading to that, and then everything after that turned to Ronda Rousey. So that's my opinion on that. Now, I see a lot of wrestling fans, and I see a lot of people criticizing wrestling fans for this. I see a lot of wrestling fans saying that they don't want Ronda Rousey here. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't want her here because, look, it's okay with me. It's cool with me that she's in the division, but there's a lot of people saying that she's coming over from UFC and she's coming straight in and we don't know much about her wrestling and she's just getting pushed right up to the top, and I don't like that. And people are criticizing wrestling fans because they're saying that, Ronda Rousey is a big draw and that look at what she did in UFC, she could do that in WWE. And I understand both sides. However, people should not criticize wrestling fans. I get where wrestling fans are coming from when they say that they don't want her just pushed up to the top like that. And you can't put that off on wrestling fans because guess what? UFC fans did the same thing with Brock Lesnar. Now, I seem to remember when Brock Lesnar first signed with UFC, it was this big ruckus about the wrestling dude coming into mixed martial arts. They don't want the wrestling dude there and all of this and that and the other. To which, by the way, not that I've ever been a fan of Brock, but I was rooting for him when he first debuted at UFC. This is the wrestling guy. That was our guy going there. I wanted him to do his best, but there were a lot of UFC fans that didn't accept him and were like, look, no, we like our guys and we don't want him storming in here taking up everything from everybody else. So you can't blame wrestling fans when they say we don't want Ronda Rousey here taking up all the spots from all of these different women. I don't blame him. I don't blame him there. However, I accept Ronda Rousey being there. Moving on. We got the casual fans debate. Now, there's a lot of people saying Ronda Rousey is here. You gotta understand that Ronda Rousey is gonna bring back the casual fans. And casual fans, if they come back and see Rousey, they're gonna come back and see wrestling. And I appreciate the optimism in that, but you gotta look back. I must take a step back here. Let's go back to when Ronda Rousey was in the UFC. When it was Ronda Rousey in the UFC, I'm a casual watcher of UFC because, violent sport. I like to see somebody get knocked out every now and again. In UFC, get submitted. But hey, that's what it is. But Ronda Rousey was there. She was this phenomenon. But it's crazy because Ronda Rousey was the thing that got over, not UFC's women's division. Ronda Rousey got over. She was the big thing. I can only name you 2 Ronda Rousey opponents. And you know why I can name them? Because they beat Ronda Rousey. That's Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. I don't even remember who were the other opponents for Ronda Rousey. The only reason I know of Miesha Tate is because they really hated each other. Look, and you gotta understand that was at Ronda Rousey's height at what she does in UFC. Everybody was only talking about Ronda Rousey. They wasn't talking about the division. And coming to WWE, you gotta understand that that's what it's going to be. Ronda Rousey is going to get the notoriety, not the other women, because people still look at wrestling like wrestling. That fake thing that y'all watch. The fake thing that we watch. So Ronda Rousey, even I was looking at the Sports Center coverage after Royal Rumble, they had the interview with Ronda Rousey, and it was all about how Ronda Rousey debuted. I didn't see nobody saying anything about the Women's Royal Rumble or how Asuka won the Women's Royal Rumble. That didn't get press coverage, national coverage. Ronda Rousey got national coverage everywhere, and it was about Ronda Rousey and what she can do in the WWE. And unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be. I don't mean to be a pessimist, because I want the best for wrestling. Sure, I want to live in a time where wrestling gets back on top as king over NFL, over UFC, over anything, but I don't think it's going to happen. Because look, I came to a point with this casual fans thing when The Rock came back. That was what I said as well. When The Rock was wrestling again, I was like, okay, cool, The Rock gonna bring back the casual fans. You know, because my thinking was, it was The Rock. Everybody know who The Rock is, remembers The Rock, and not only that, he's the biggest movie star in all of the movies. He's not the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. That would be me. Somebody tell him that. But I thought The Rock was going to bring everybody back. But at the end of the day, he didn't do it. He couldn't do it because people still looked at wrestling as that wrestling thing, that fake thing that people watch. So I came to the realization that if The Rock couldn't bring people back, then it can't be done. And I look at Ronda Rousey and I wish the best for her, but I don't really think that she can bring casual fans in long term. Looking forward though, I think WWE's kind of backed themselves into a corner. Because we look at the possible matches for Ronda Rousey, obviously the title is on the board. Obviously, you have to put her in the title match. Because why else is she coming down there to interrupt Asuka and your 2 heavyweight champions? You can't do all of this only to put her in the match. I remember last year it was rumored that we could see Ronda Rousey and The Rock and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in a tag team match at one Mania one year. You can't have her come in and do that, because what's the point? That she interrupted both champions. Now you have to force her into a title match. It's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Roman Reigns, because at least Roman Reigns had some kind of wrestling experience prior to coming here. Well, plenty of wrestling experience prior to getting pushed there. I never thought he should have been pushed there at the top, but at least he had some wrestling experience. It seems like Ronda Rousey is going to come straight in here. Maybe she'll get a match in, but the only thing for you to do is shove her into the title matchup. I don't think you can do anything else. So they kind of backed themselves into a corner right there. And also, lastly but not least, I saw earlier this week that Nikki Bella criticized Ronda Rousey, and that started a whole movement of ladies criticizing Ronda Rousey, and they were talking about how the women get looked over. And I got excited when I first saw that first tweet from Nikki Bella. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I saw everybody else commenting, and I was like, this isn't work. Nobody really mad. So they should have just if they'd had it, just let Nikki Bella do it, and that's it. they'd have hooked me. They would have got me. But once everybody else started coming in, I was like, oh well. Nobody really feels that way. But man, I need a breath after all of that. But looking at Ronda Rousey, I wish her the best. As for her Royal Rumble appearance, I really say the underrated, the best thing about it was Asuka slapping her hand away. When Asuka slapped her hand away, I said, yeah, yeah, Asuka. And I liked it. I like that. I wish Ronda Rousey the best. We'll see what happens.